us a little bit about you.
Ooh, a little bit about me. I am the ultimate tomboy, a very proud mother of two, and the hardest working human being you'll ever meet.
Ever meet?
Ever. There is no off day.
In your everyday life, what gives you most joy?
I think, as cliched as it sounds, it's my children. I think it's important for people to know that when I grew up and I knew I was going to be on CNN because that was the goal, I never factored in a family. I was so career-oriented, career-driven, and just had everything mapped out in place. But as we all know, while you think you have your own purpose, there's someone called a higher purpose that directs your steps. You can either fight it or you can embrace it. I did a little bit of both, and so my children make me a better woman. They make me a better worker. They make me a better human being. They are why I have empathy. They are why I have purpose. They are why I wake up every morning and understand I have mouths to feed. But I mean, honestly, the theme of everything that I do is driven and spearheaded by my love of my children, for sure.
I love that. Getting right into the intriguing questions, how are you connected to the city of Mobile professionally?
Ooh, great question. So, you know, in my career, I've been in TV almost 17 years, and I've moved every 3 years. And every 3 years, I should say. And along the way, there's bumps, there's bruises. You think you know, but you don't know. And then you find a rhythm. And the rhythm is getting to know the people in which you're talking to. Because I always say, how can we ask people to tune in to what we're doing if they never see us on the streets? And it's not just at the big name events. It's at, like the other weekend, we were at the farmer's market. I'm talking to real people. And they really tell you, hey, I didn't like your hair. Or they really tell you, I love that story that you did. And so you're getting real-time feedback, because it's so easy to be inside of a studio and section yourself off from the real world. But real people have heartbeats and feelings and wants and needs, and they look like all of us. Because I see myself in every person. I am not ashamed, and it's no secret, I'm a single mother. So, and you know what I mean? That's just part of my fuel. That's part of my arsenal that I have that helps catapult me to the next day. So it's very important to me that people see me, and they see me real, not all made up. They see me, and they've seen me in the grocery store with my children, because I'm a mom first. And I let my kids know, do not let the microphone fool you, because I'm on this planet as your mother. And everything else, and you know, make no mistake, I am so blessed to do what I do, because my platform is to reach other people. I am a vessel, and I get all this great information, and it's up to me to share it and pass it and empower people and to grow it. And then if you think you've had enough, I've got more for you. Like that really makes my heart happy.
I love it. What is your purpose?
My purpose. I think that people spend their whole life looking for their purpose. When I was as young as 8, I told everyone I was going to be on TV. I knew I was going to do the news. And so my mom would laugh, because every time she'd go to a parent-teacher conference, they're like, you know, your daughter, she's so nice and she's so personable, but she needs to apply herself, but she won't stop talking. And so my mom would come home and she said, let me tell you something. I did not send you to school to talk. I said, Mom, I'm going to be on TV when I grow up. It all makes sense. And we laugh. And so, but I knew my purpose was to get information and give. I come from my parents are both lawyers. My mom was president and CEO of a company. She put herself through law school after she had me. But when you meet my mom, if you're ever blessed to meet my mom, the greatest woman on the planet, I may add. But when you look at her, she doesn't go by president, CEO, vice president, lawyer. Her job on this planet is to give back. And so I learned that at a young age. Who cares what your title is? You know, you're only pretty when you act pretty. You're ugly when you act ugly. And if you have something, you must share it, because that's how more blessings come to you. And I take that seriously, and I'm teaching my children the same thing. So my purpose is to be the vessel to get great information and to pass it on to all people. Not just people who look like me, not just people who may live in the county that I live or are from the part of the world that I've been. No, this is information dissemination. I am like a concierge when it comes to information. I got you.
I love it. I love it. What specific events led to led to this discovery? Such, for example, I know you talked a little bit about when you were younger, and you talked a lot in school, and your mom.
I think honestly, volunteering. I was a Girl Scout. I was a national delegate in Michigan, so I helped decide the Girl Scout laws in Michigan. Went to space camp, earned my silver award. Just the purpose of volunteerism, to give back. I also, in school, I gave back. I used to, when I was kind of a little bit older, I read to deaf people on the radio. Yeah, it was cool. Because of course I did my stuff differently. Most people are like, oh, these are the headlines. I said, here are your stories. You want to know what Marlena did. But I mean, giving back, being able to intern, being able to be around the people who were doing what I was doing, but understanding that your title does not make you. It truly didn't. So there's not one event, but I think being surrounded by a family that's always giving. I mean, we would feed people who didn't have. We would give to people who didn't have. I know that we would, when it came to spring cleaning, we're cleaning out our stuff, but we're washing it, cleaning it, and giving it to those who need. Because we're all just one paycheck away. Let's not fool ourselves. I don't get caught up in the lights and the glitz and the glamour. I understand the power of what I do. And if it were snatched from me tomorrow, I would never say woulda, coulda, shoulda. I wouldn't. Because I go hard every day, but it's not for me. It's not for me. And I think that my kids, going back to kids, I think they helped take me out of just on the avenue of doing for self. The purpose is I'm building up the next generation. And I have two great examples called Kid 1 and Kid 2.
I agree with that. Beyond those events, are there any particular people, or who are some of the particular people that help and assist you mold you into who we see today, every day on TV?
I pull from a lot of people, and I know you, with your previous question, you wanted to know about certain events. I can tell you here in Mobile, they help get me acclimated, if that helps a little bit. It's about going to events in the so-called bad areas. It's about being around the people who have all this money. It's about dealing with people who are transient. It's about dealing with people who are lifelong Mobilians. I think that making sure that I'm not boxed into, oh, she's just an anchor. Or, oh, she's a northerner. You can't box me in. Because if you do, I go left. And then when you go right, I go straight down the hole. You know what I mean? It's like up the gut. So, and also my other markets, sports. I'm a huge sports fan. So, NFL, NBA, hockey, like all that. In high school, I ran track and I played basketball and I ice skated and I played softball. So that's my thing. So sports and events have allowed me to immerse myself in each particular community. Now this one was kind of tricky because it's college football driven, and I grew up in the Big Ten, and so immediately everybody's like, you gotta pick a team, you gotta pick a team. Go Jags. Safe. So that's some of the events that I've done. But I mean, being able to MC events. A lot of people ask you, when you're new to town, can you MC this, can you MC that? And I make sure to MC all types of events because I get to learn more about people, and it's kind of like the expedited way. Because I don't have to go and wait to be invited to a meeting. I'm now meeting people at these great events and then doing the business card shuffle and then making great contacts and connect. So that's that. Sorry, I didn't answer your last question. But as far as the people, I learned along the way when I interned in Detroit. I remember asking one of my photographers, I said, if I'm going to make it in this business, what do I do? He said, first and foremost, you take care of the people who take care of you. And so that is why I'm so big on introducing my director and introducing my producer and letting people know that you see me, but it's a whole village of greatness behind me. And I think that a lot of people miss that opportunity to highlight who helped them get there. So I could pick and choose from the photographer here, from a boss here, from I have a female mentor, I have a male mentor, to the man that I love, to my parents, to my children, to teachers. You kind of pick and choose, but I think that's why it's so important that your circle be tight. Everybody cannot have access to you. Because when you have purpose, there are so many people who don't. And they try to jump in your lane of purpose and bring in a big rig and bring, you know what I'm saying? And they try to mess up your purpose. And so I pull from so many people, white and black, rich and poor. I lived overseas for 3 years. So I'm the godmother to my little Alexa in Albania. Her mom gives me purpose. She speaks 7 languages and doesn't think she's smart. I said, I speak English and Mama-ese, and I don't think the second qualifies for anything. But I think I look for purpose at all times because it can hit you when you least expect it. Kind of like love.
Last question.
Last question?
Not really, but if given the opportunity to speak to somebody who's looking to discover their purpose, looking to discover their sense of being, what type of advice or what would you say to that person?
As I tell young people, I mentor 6 young people, and I tell them, don't go on Facebook, Twitter, whatever your method of communication, and announce what you're trying to do. Your results speak for themselves. So be results oriented, results driven. And because the more people you bring into your hopes, your goals, and your dreams are the more people who can shoot you down. You need to be real with yourself and say, do I really want this for me, or am I doing it for someone else? Because then it makes a difference of how you show up to work. I mean, my day starts at 2 a.m. I'm not a morning person at all, zero, zilch. Never. But I have a job to do. And I know that, quite honestly, you know, out in the audience, when you're waking up, you don't want to hear that I'm tired. You don't want to hear that I have a headache. You don't want to hear that my foot hurts. You want your news. And so my purpose of being is to give you the best that I can. And I don't mail it in every day. Every day I end a day, I say, now how can I better this? And do it again tomorrow, but better. And bring someone up along the way. That's what it's all about. So I would tell a person who is maybe looking to hone in on their purpose, to better their purpose, is you've got to start with self. You honest to goodness have to start with self, because at the end of the day, all the woulda, coulda, shouldas, all the people who are telling you what, you know, their little pieces of advice, where are they when times are not good? And I look at, you know, my parents were remarried. And when my mom was dating he was a stepdad on paper, but my dad. He was around when Kelly Jones wasn't cool. He was around when Kelly Jones needed braces, you know, and got in trouble for a curfew. But he was there believing in me and telling me my purpose as a young lady. And I fought him. Oh man, I fought him. But as I get older and I have children and I am really in this great love story that I have personally, I understand it now. And you just can't invite everybody into your space. That's another thing that I would tell a young person, or not just a young person, just a person looking for purpose. You cannot invite riffraff into your space and keep questioning why things aren't working out. They bring poison into your space. And my dad used to always say, your life is like a math equation. People should come into your life adding or multiplying. If they divide or if they subtract from you, you need to beat feet. Like seriously. And we waste so much time trying to please all these other people. But what about you? What about your heart? Because you're not going to get 5 seconds to go back. And my time is precious. Right? It very much is. But I think that just as important as purpose are teachable moments. And it's not just, well, these are just my children, so I'm only going to teach them. All of us, we have got to stick together. And I think our society has changed so much because, you know, we're getting away from when grandmamas and aunties and uncles would say, hey, you know, your mama's at work, but I've got you. Now everybody wants to look away. No, we need to start caring. We need to bring that purpose back into our vocabulary. We need to bring that purpose back into our way of life, where it shouldn't be so, oh, there's a person with purpose. It should be common. Don't get me started. I'm sorry.